Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, depending on where you live. Hope you had a great weekend. I had a pretty good weekend. Hot as hell, though, here in Southeast Texas, man. We were just in a heat wave. Hopefully, the weather was a little bit better where you are, a little bit cooler. Hope you had a great weekend. Big 12 conference preview. That's what we're doing today. Uh, got quite a bit of news items to go over, so we'll go and get to that. Before we start, hit that subscribe button wherever it is so you don't miss anything. Let's get down to these news items. Five-time All-Pro NFL wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins uh, has joined Georgia Tech as assistant wide receivers coach. Remember, he was back in 2013. He was a first-round draft pick for the Houston Texans down the road. I think they said who he recently played for. I forget, but he had some injuries and stuff. So anyway, he's going to be assistant wide receivers coach at Georgia Tech. 5 for 5 rule, the NCAA rule, is taking a blow. Federal court in Denver ruled the high school class of 2022 athletes who exhausted their fourth season of college eligibility this spring are eligible for a fifth season in 26-27. The NCAA has already said they're going to appeal. They may have already appealed. This actually gives 30 basketball players a fifth season of eligibility. So it's like every time the NCAA tries to do something, some court somewhere says, no, you ain't doing that. So anyway, Big Ten and SEC, they now support the Protect College Sports Act. I think they got a few things done their way that they wanted. So now I think they're going to try to get to vote before Congress goes in vacation or whatever. I think this Friday, I think, if I remember right. New Mexico State, the Aggies, assistant head coach, GM, and running backs coach David Cobb dismissed from the program, placed on administrative leave for some kind of investigation or something, then dismissed. No reason has been given. I'm sure eventually we will find out why. BYU football player Matthew Eprin Lapo Acida. I think that's how you say his name, right? Matthew Eprin Lapoto Acida. Anyway, right before fall camp, has been charged with DUI, using a fake ID to buy alcohol, minor in possession, open container in the vehicle, giving false info to a police officer, and driving without a license. Police spotted him trying to enter traffic, driving through a bike lane, and blocking a sidewalk. So they pulled him over, arrested him, and all this right before fall camp. Way to go. Big East, they are expected to hire former Major League Baseball executive Tom Bronin, is that what it is, as their new commissioner. He actually graduated from Georgetown in 1980, so he's got a little Big East history there. Florida Atlantic, they hired Mississippi State Deputy Athletic Director Josh McGowan as their new Vice President and Athletic Director. And Wichita State gives basketball coach Paul Miller a 3-year contract extension. Each year he's getting more and more wins, so they like where the program is headed. All right, Big 12 preview. Once again, I'll say, I try to make sure I got everybody that left or quit or whatever out of the talk here, but sometimes I miss some players. So if I mention, hey, this player's coming back and he's really not, sorry about that. Anyway, all right, Texas Tech Red Raiders 12-2, 8-1 last year, won the Big 12 championship game against BYU, lost to Oregon in the CFP Orange Bowl. 5 on offense, 5 on defense, and the kicker coming back. Will Hammond, he will take over as quarterback. Now the Sorsby, we're past all that Sorsby mess. They did assemble a great roster in the offseason. The question is, will Hammond deliver? Non-conference, Abilene Christian, Oregon State, and Sam Houston. BYU Cougars, 12-2, 8-1, lost the Big 12 championship, Texas Tech. Big Georgia Tech, a good Georgia Tech team, though, in the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Last conference title, 2007, the Mountain West. 5 on offense coming back, but hey, 8 on defense coming back, starters. Quarterback Bachmeyer returns, as does running back Martin. Wide receivers Hagan and Phillips return. Kind of a potent offense there. Let's see what's going to happen with the offensive line. 8 returning defensive starters. That is awesome. And 7 home games this year. They only have to go on the road 5 times. Non-conference, Utah Tech, Colorado State, and Notre Dame. Houston Cougars, 10-3, 6-3 last year, beat LSU in the Texas Bowl. Last conference title, 2015, in the American Athletic Conference. Returning starters, 4 on offense, 6 on defense, kicker. The quarterback Wigman back, as is wide receiver Thomas, so he's got himself a little weapon there. Sacks leader Eddie Wells is gone. That sucks. Brandon Mack behind him, though, comes back, so maybe he'll pick up where Wells left off. Non-conference, Oregon State, Southern, Georgia Southern. They do go to Texas Tech and Utah, so that could be kind of tough for them. Speaking of Utah Utes, 11-2, 7-2 last year. Beat Nebraska in the Las Vegas Bowl. Then Kyle Whittingham retired and then ended up in Michigan about a month, 2 months later. Last conference title, 2022 in the Pac-12. Returning starters, 2 on offense, 3 on defense, kicker and the punter. Quarterback Dampier and running back Packerman are back, but playing behind an inexperienced O-line. That's never really that good. 2 starters return on defense in their front 7. That could be a problem too. Non-conference includes Idaho, Arkansas, Utah State. No Texas Tech on the schedule. And they also have 7 home games. So BYU and Utah both have 7 home games. That's kind of peculiar, don't you think? Arizona Wildcats, 9-4, 6-3. Lost to SMU in the Holiday Bowl. Last conference title, 1993 in the old Pac-10. Started 4-1. Started really good last year. Lost the next 2, but then won the next 5. Returning starters, 4 on offense, 3 on defense, and the kicker. Fifita, quarterback, he's back. I always thought he was a pretty good quarterback. He's got over 3,000 yards and 29 touchdowns, so there you go. 3 returning wide receivers. Plus, they picked up a few receivers in the transfer portal this year. Starting linebacker Brown is back. 93 tackles for him. Secondary kind of weak, though. That's where they need some work, is on their secondary. Non-conference, Northern Arizona, Northern Illinois, and old Pac-10 foe, Washington State. Oklahoma State Cowboys. This is going to be very, very interesting to see what they do this year. 1-11, 0-9 last year, fired Mike Gundy. Last conference title, 2011. New head coach Rick Morris came from North Texas, brought a buttload of great players with him, half the team, including quarterback Drew Mestamaker. That guy was pretty damn good. He's got 4,379 yards and 34 touchdowns. Now, that was at UNT in their conference, but a lot of experience, a lot of good players on that UNT team came over with Morris. So, Oklahoma State, that's going to be an interesting team to watch this year. I'm not saying they're going to win the Big 12, but if they got 7-8 wins, that wouldn't surprise me at all. Definitely think they will go to a bowl game. North Carolina, non-conference includes Tulsa. They do got Oregon at home though, and then Murray State. All right, Arizona State Sun Devils, 8-5, 6-3, lost to Duke in the Sun Bowl. That's one of the best bowl games last year, was that Sun Bowl. Last conference title, 2024. Returning starters, 1 on offense, 2 on defense. Ouch. Quarterback Sam Levitt left, went to LSU. Quarterback. Kentucky. You can tell it's Monday. I can't talk with the crap. Kentucky quarterback Cutler Bowley comes in. Top defensive tackle CJ Fight returns. A bunch of transfers, though, come in over the offseason to help them out. Non-conference includes Morgan State, Texas A&M, and Hawaii. Kansas State Wildcats, they've kind of fallen off the map lately. 6-6, 5-4 last year. Last conference title, 2022. They got 5 starters coming back on offense. Only 1 starter coming back on defense. Kicker and the punter. Quarterback A.V. Johnson is back. They return the top running back Joe Jackson and their top wide receiver, Jerry Tibbs. Defense, though, is filled mostly with transfers. So if they can get those guys to gel, they might be all right. Non-conference includes Nichols, Washington State, and Tulane. Tulane's been pretty good the last couple of years. TCU Horned Frogs, 9-4, 5-4. Beat USC in the Alamo Bowl. Last conference title, 2014. Starters coming back, 4 on offense, 5 on defense. Quarterback Jayden Craig transfers in from Harvard to try to help them out. D-line, though. D-line looks good. They got some players coming back, some veterans. They're in the depth chart coming back, so D-line looks pretty good. Linebackers, kind of wait and see how good they will be. Non-conference, North Carolina, Grambling, Arkansas State. Wouldn't be surprised if they beat them all. Wouldn't be surprised if they lost to one of those teams. Cincinnati Bearcats, 7-6, 5-4, lost to Navy in the Liberty Bowl. They were 7-1 at one point last year. Remember that? Then they lost the last 5. Last conference title, 2021 in the American Athletic Conference. Quarterback Jay French transfers in from Georgia Southern. They also brought in 4 wide receivers and 3 running backs to help him out in the offense. Only 3 offensive starters coming back, 1 defensive starter. I'm sorry. Their kicker and punter return. They needed transfers, though, because a lot of people left. Non-conference, Boston College, Western Carolina, and Miami of Ohio. Baylor Bears, boy. Baylor, man. Aranda, man, he needs to have a hell of a season. 5-7, 3-6. Went on a 2-game win streak twice last year, but after that, last conference title, 2021. It's going to be hard, though. 1 returning offensive starter, 3 returning defensive starters, and the punter. Brought in DJ Lagway from Florida. That might help them out a bit. DJ Lagway, not the best quarterback you've ever seen, but a good quarterback. He can get things done. It's kind of 50-50 with his play, but you never know. Behind a whole new fresh start behind another offensive line, who knows? He might shine. And then the defense, only 1 starter comes back on that defense front 7. Non-conference, Auburn, Prairie View A&M, Louisiana Tech. West Virginia Mountaineers, 4-8, 2-7. We're 2-1. Going into the pit, lost the next 5. Last conference title, 2011 in the Big East. Sometimes I scribble fast. I can't read my own crap. Only 3 returning starters. All 3 are on offense. Nation's leading rusher Cam Cook comes in from Jacksonville State. That could help them out. He's pretty good. So there's a little bright side there. Defense is just about all transfers. So you got to get them to work together and get along and everything here in a short time. 83 new players total came into West Virginia. Non-conference, Coastal Carolina, UT Martin, and Virginia. Central Florida Knights, 5-7, 2-7. Started 3-0. Lost to Baylor by 27. Lost to Texas Tech by 39. Last conference title, 2018 American Conference. 4 on offense, 6 on defense coming back for their starters. Let's see. Hey, Alonzo Barnett, James Madison quarterback. He transfers in. That could help them out. 2 wide receivers return. Defensive secondary, they got a lot coming back in their secondary, so they could be pretty good there. Non-conference, Bethune Cookman, Pitt, Georgia State. They also have no Texas Tech or Utah, which that could help them out a lot. Kansas Jayhawks, man, I just don't know what to make of them. Jaden Daniels, had he stayed healthy, I think they probably could have some pretty good teams there. But man, they would be on fire, and he'd get hurt, and that'd be it. 5-7, 3-6 last year. Went 1-5 in the second half of the season. Last conference title, 1968 in the old Big 8 conference. Coming back on offense, only 2 starters, 4 on defense. Jaden Daniels, like we said, he's gone now. They're saying it's going to be a 3-way quarterback battle that's going to happen here in fall camp. 2 running back transfers come in, so that could help them out. 2 O-line starters. They're a couple of the returning starters on O-line, so that can help them out. Defense, though, is a mixture of veterans and transfers. You've got to get them together. Non-conference includes Long Island, Missouri, and Middle Tennessee. Iowa State Cyclones, 8-4, 5-4, started 5-0, dropped the next 4. You know what their last conference title was? 1912 in the old Missouri Valley. Only returning starter coming back, their kicker. So it's like Campbell took Rocco and some others with him to Penn State. Brought in Arkansas State quarterback Jackson Rayner. He's got 67 touchdowns in 3 seasons there at Arkansas State, so maybe that can help them out some. It's pretty much a brand new team. Like I said, a lot of players left, a lot of people with Matt Campbell up to State College. Non-conference, Southeast Missouri State, Iowa, and Bowling Green. And last but not least, Colorado Buffaloes, who looked like they had so much promise coming their way back when Deion first took over. Well, 3-9, 1-8 last year. Last conference title, 2001 Big 12. If I remember right, they beat Texas. If I remember right, that game, Texas started, what was Sims? What was Phil Sims' name? What was this? Chris Sims. They started him, and he didn't do worth a crap. They brought back in Major Applewhite, who got benched for some reason. He tried to bring him back, came close, just didn't happen. So, yeah, last conference title, 2001 Big 12. 4 on offense coming back, 1 on defense, and the punter. Sanders and Hunter, they are gone. So offense is going to be kind of questionable what he's got there. Defense, though, looks like they should be better than they were last year. You just got to get that offense going. Non-conference includes, it ain't going to be easy, Georgia Tech, Weber State, and then Northwestern, who's now got Chip Kelly as their OC. So we'll see what happens there. That is it, Big 12. Big 12 conference preview. Next up will be this Thursday or Friday. I think it was Conference USA on my list. We'll go over those teams, any news. It's Monday. It sucks, but what are you going to do? Keep your head down. Stay busy. Weekend will be here before you know it. We will see you back on Thursday or Friday.